So I have known Sal for about 2 years. Initially, I got in touch with her to do an energy release session, which was meant to help me find my life purpose. And immediately when I talked to Sal, I trusted her. She has a very calming, soothing energy, and she feels very informed, very well educated, very trustworthy. So I knew from the moment I spoke to her that I was in good hands. And we ended up doing the session, and it was incredibly healing. And a couple of months later, I did find my life's purpose and have since changed my career. So that worked out amazingly. So since that worked out so well, I decided to work with Sal on another issue which I have carried for my entire life, and has been a really heavy burden on my shoulders and impacted every area of my life. And that was the fear of abandonment. And obviously this has impacted mainly my relationships, my romantic relationships, but also my work relationships and my friendships. It was a very strong fear. Over the years, I learned to cope with the symptoms a little bit better, so I wasn't reacting as much, but the fear was honestly eating me up on the inside. So recently I went through a very tough breakup, and I knew that something needed to change. It was the perfect time for me to heal that part of myself. And when I thought about the options, Sal immediately came to mind, and we ended up booking in a session. And let me tell you, it was life-changing. I can already feel amazing, massive shifts only after about a month. And as life has it, the day before we did the session, I had an event really triggering me and causing me a lot of sadness and a lot of pain and this really horrible, crippling fear. And so when we did the session the next day, I was in the perfect mindset to just really get rid of it and to really dive deep in. So in terms of how the session works, Sal really puts you at ease. She asks you a lot of questions at the start. And then you just go into a very relaxed state. And because I know what hypnosis is like, I knew to just kind of go with whatever comes up. So I did exactly that. And I had this story unfolding before my eyes, which explained everything. It was a story of abandonment. It was a story of scarcity. It was a story of incredible grief. And honestly, even though it was very intense, it was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had in my life, and I'm not exaggerating. It was so healing, and it went so deep. I don't think any other form of therapy could have provided that, and I think Sal was exactly the right person for me to guide me through. And I confronted at least 2 lifetimes of suffering, and oh my God, I felt immediately so much lighter. Specifically in my stomach area, I felt so relieved. I felt like a massive weight had been taken off of my stomach, my shoulders, and I felt like I was walking on feathers afterwards. But when you do such deep healing, it's also normal that your mood kind of like goes up and down because you're not quite balanced. You've been digging deep in something traumatic. So throughout the next couple of weeks, I felt a little bit up and down, but Sal reassured me that's completely normal. And so I just kind of surrendered to it. And about 2 weeks later, I felt very balanced. I felt very much in control of my emotions and just at ease. And it's had a massive impact on all of my relationships. I had a few situations happening that would usually trigger me immensely. and they don't trigger me anymore. I'm completely calm, I'm collected, and the outcome is different because my behavior has shifted. So I think this was completely life-changing. I would recommend anyone to do it. Really, if you are scared, Sal is the most amazing and calming and professional person you could wish for. And just be brave, because it's not as bad as the burden that you're currently carrying with you. It could never be as bad, and it's all lying inside of you, so you kind of already know. You know the worst kind of feelings that could come up, and really, like, just a massive release. Just see it as an amazing release and an opportunity to change your life. And yeah, just surrender to the process. If you want massive change in your life, I couldn't recommend her more.